which is called Why Do Females Want Bad Boys and Thugs, Part 2. And the DOB. The DOB stands for the down ass bitch. So basically what I'm gonna get into is the whole concept explanation of what it means to be the down ass bitch in that terminology. So I know many of you hear females, you know, consider themselves to be the down ass bitch or the bit or that ride die chick, especially for somebody that's out there living a risky lifestyle. And I'm gonna get into the fact that these particular females who are actually the down ass bitch that's doing what the down ass bitch would do if they with the bad boy type. Peace, Amon. Yeah, so I'm gonna get into a discussion about that. Um, this video won't be as long as the other one, so that's what the title is really about. The concept of the down ass bitch. Yeah. But anyways, I want to give people the time, the opportunity to get here. And when you guys, okay, well, I'll start in a few seconds. So, can't you hear me now? Okay, you should be able to hear me now. But I'll give people a few minutes to get here, so we can get started on this topic about the whole concept of being the down ass bitch and what's the meaning behind it, like what it means to be a down ass bitch. So yeah, so that's what this video is about. So I did a part one of this video because somebody said they couldn't hear me. So I did a part one of this video, and this was about a year ago. I posted up on the page. So I'm gonna get into the topic of discussion. So I want to give everybody a few moments to get here. And if you want to go ahead and share this video, you're more than welcome to do so. If you would like to share the video. So, as y'all can see, I can speak on a level that's dealing with something informative. You know, so it's not just about opinions. You know, that there's facts too. So, but it's always informative and educational in a sense. Very, and that's where I do. So, alright. I might as well go ahead and get started. But anyways. So what is the DOB? The down ass bitch. So where does the down ass bitch come from? Now, well, let's analyze something. Who would want who want to be a down ass bitch? For the most part, you would hear this term used very often, very loosely. Especially regard to those who are in a relationship with someone, particularly a male who is living a very risky lifestyle, or you know, who's living a criminal lifestyle. So by him living that criminal lifestyle, as I mentioned in the first part of the video, you got females who are very attracted to men like this. You know, men who don't really, who would put themselves at risk and put other people at risk. You have females that are attracted to that. So let's do a recap on what the first part of the video was about. So I mentioned where many young girls, particularly, like to be with older men. Okay, because they feel that the older man has a little bit more value and more understanding and consideration, right? Then I also mentioned how they like to be with the bad boys type or the hood or the thug type, because they figure that the bad boy, the thug, is more protective. But what comes along with that is they want to be the one that will ride for them. So in order to keep them around and keep impressing the guy, they want to be the one that's the ride or die chick, or be like the bunny while he's the Clyde. So that's where the down ass bitch come into play. But see, what many don't know is there's consequences to being the down ass bitch, or the DOB. The consequences to be the DOB, I mean the DAB, what I get DOB from? The DAB. The consequences to being a DAB is that, are you willing to take an L? Are you willing to take that L? So if he gets in trouble, are you going to be the one to do the time for him while he's in, if something goes wrong? And if you do the time because you decide to be a DAB, right? Is there a guarantee that this guy that you riding and dying for, or you being the down ass bitch for, is he gonna come and see about your well-being? Is he gonna put money on your books? Is he gonna come and spend time with you? Is he gonna come and make visitation with you? Now, is it worth being that down ass bitch knowing that you going to deal with major consequences? See, this is, many don't think about this. They're thinking, shoot, if I just do this and I do that for him, and I just ride with him, if I just be his partner in crime, that I would get a token, or we'll be together, or I'll be his main chick. I mean, yeah, you think you will get a token, but you'll get a price tag too, along with that token. You'll get a price tag. And your price tag may be doing time in prison, or worse. So you have so many sisters that's locked up right now. Let's talk about the women in prison. As a matter of fact, Iyanla has a show where she talking to 3 women that was convicted felons. And do you know where they come from? 2 of them was locked up because they were involved in a relationship with guys who were living a risky lifestyle. Or they even did something for the guy to impress him, to keep him around. So I'm saying is that a vast majority of women get locked up either because not just not just prostitution as far as using drugs or prostitution or abusing children, but they're out here committing criminal activity with the guy just so they can impress him, or they can be on the winning team. Now, it is sad that you have those sisters who lower their standard to that level. However, this all goes back to lack of parental guidance. It always goes back to lack of parental guidance and societal problem. Why do I blame society for this? because society has encouraged this type of behavior. Society encourage it through music, through movies. They encourage this. So many young girls come up with this perception in their mind that if they were to live this lifestyle along with the male who's living that risky lifestyle, that they would earn some type of you gotta go back and watch the video, Anthony. That they will earn some type of they will earn some type of treat. They will earn that status. But guess what? You don't earn the status. You earn a burden. And that's just the reality. That's the reality. Many of them don't understand that it comes with that cost, the burden. Not only the burden that you put on yourself, but the burden that you put on your family, your children. So now you have sisters that look back and wish that they never, ever got themselves involved with doing certain activities just to impress someone, or get involved with someone that don't really have their best interests at heart. Now listen to me. Listen to me very closely, because I see some comments. Okay? I'm not saying that all men are thugs or all men are gangsters. And I'm not saying that the men that was once living a lifestyle as thugs and gangsters cannot make a transition from that state of being to becoming productive. I'm not saying that. But there are those who continuously to live a risky life. And that is a fact. That is true. And these are the type of men that women gravitate towards. Especially younger women. Because they caught up in the glamour. They caught up on this ideal that they gotta get a thug. Because they don't know what real men look like. They don't know the definition of a productive man. So they gravitate towards this. Excuse me. Excuse me. They gravitate towards those type of men. Just like going back to very young women, teenage girls in particular, they want older men. Because according to scientists, if you will, girls typically mature faster than boys. So teenage girls, they usually want to get involved in relationships. And they don't get in relationship with guys their age. Because the young men their age are more on the immature level. Not on the immature level, but they're more, they're not as mentally developed as the girls in their age group. So this is why they get with older men, because they feel like the older men can provide some needs and have some understanding and some compassion. But don't realize that older man is only going to use them and take advantage of them. And I'm not saying all older men do it, but a vast majority does. When they come across young women, especially young teenage girls, they'll find ways to take advantage of them. They'll find ways to take advantage of their mentality and use it to their own advantage. So a young lady may not be receptive and may not be able to pick up on it right away because she's caught up in the glamour. She's caught up emotionally. She becomes emotionally attached to that man. But later on, she discovers and she finds out that he was not what she thought he was in the beginning. And that's how pimps get these young girls. Because these girls they're very vulnerable. And they become emotionally attached to them. And once they become emotionally attached to them, they can't remove themselves from that person. So that person has the all-time advantage to take over and to manipulate their minds and get them to where they want them to be. And get them to do whatever they want them to do. So going back to the down-ass bitch concept. The whole concept is the down-ass bitch is very submissive. She will be very submissive. And she will go above and beyond to do whatever she can to keep her man by her side or to make sure that he doesn't leave her sight. She'll do whatever she can to make sure he don't leave her sight. And this comes from, for one, it has a lot to do with self-esteem. Two, it comes from loneliness. So the fear of being alone and self-esteem. If I don't do what he like, or if I don't get out here and get caught up, if I don't, ride for my man like this, then he ain't gonna want to be with me. He gonna think that I ain't supporting him. He gonna think that I don't care anything about him. This is what they have in their mind. See, you gotta study this psychology to understand why those who get involved into doing certain things or being part of certain activity. So once you get the psychology of this, it's not that difficult to actually understand the mind of certain individuals. Now, you're not going to be able to pick up on everything. You're not going to be able to become receptive. However, when you start being able to have a conversation and you start analyzing, you'll be able to get the picture. You'll be able to get the idea. So, again, this is one of the reasons why I have so many girls who want to be a part of the DAB because they want to be accepted. They want to be loved. They want a status. They want to earn the status. They want to earn acceptance. They want to earn respect. And also, it's about survival. It's about survival. But again, many of them don't understand that respect comes from self. Many of them don't understand respect comes from knowing who you are. As long as you carry yourself in a way that you set high standards and you know who you are or have the knowledge of self, right, or on the path of knowledge of self, then you can earn respect that way. Then that man who is living a particular lifestyle, he may see you and how you carry yourself with such high standards, and he may be able to make his transition from one state to being able to get on your level. They'll be able to get on your level because they realize that you're different from most. And sometimes, some of them, not all of them, some want women who are very different, who are opposite of them, who don't understand the lifestyle, who not into the street, who not involved in any type of activity. Some of them want someone opposite because at some point in time in their lives, they're going to get tired of being who they are and doing the things they're doing and want to settle down, want to make a transition, but they want to be able to have somebody who can help them to make that transition from being in one state to another. You know, when Malcolm X was out there, I'm going to use Malcolm X for example. When Malcolm X was a bad boy in the streets, running around pimping, gambling, all those things like that, he was around a bunch of white women, right? Who was involved in that lifestyle with him. But then when Malcolm got out of prison and he made his transition into the Nation of Islam, he met Betty Shabazz, a woman who had a college degree from Detroit. A woman who, I think she was a nurse or was in the nursing field at the time. She was very humble. She was very respectful. She didn't carry herself like the women that he was used to hanging with in the streets. She didn't do all that. So she helped him to become the better man. She helped him to become more productive. She was very supportive of him. So as long as Betty was there by his side, he didn't have to turn no other way. He didn't have to go out and run the streets anymore. Because now he had a responsibility as a husband. And also by them having children, he had a responsibility as a father. So he had no choice but, well, you always have a choice, but in this case, he had to grow up. He had to stay mature. He had to. He was already on that path. What's the purpose of turning back around when you're already on your path? So he went from Nation Islam to learn about the Sunni Islamic culture, the Orthodox Islam, and started his little own organization before he had passed away, before he was killed. So Betty was always there to support Malcolm, and she kept Malcolm in line. You know, and some guys want that. There's guys who want women who can keep them in line. You know, women who can be able to help them to get on a better path and not continuously support them on a path of destruction. But if you sitting up there just being the down ass bitch, and I hate to say this, then you pretty much supporting your man on his path of destruction. And it's not just simply your fault. It's just because you don't really know. You don't know no other alternative. You don't know any proper direction because you haven't received the proper guidance. But if you have that proper guidance and you had another direction that you was going in life, you can be able to help influence that guy that's living the way he's living, and he will become a more productive person because he sees what you're doing and he likes you, and he not likes you, but he has interest in you, and he has started growing emotionally attached to you. So he eventually wants to make the transition from the street life to being someone that's more responsible and more productive, because he found somebody that's carrying themselves on a higher standard. So, it's time that we get back to that. As women, what I say is, if it ain't worth, if it's not worth it, then don't do it. If it's not worth it, then don't do it. I don't know why either. But if it's not worth it, then don't do it. Don't support somebody who don't have a best interest at your heart. Don't support somebody who's not going to be there. Don't do it. And the same way for guys. If that woman is not willing to help you to make that transition from where you are, if you, the guys that's out there in the streets living a lifestyle, if that woman's not helping you to become productive, if she's not the one that's setting that high standard, then, and you trying to make that transition, it's time to let her go and find somebody else that can really help you, as far as your transition is concerned. Because that woman that, if she's not worth it, if she's not willing to, show you or help you, and you don't need those kind of women, because then at the end of the day, they'll let you know where she stands on her position. But always find somebody that's a little bit more productive. So we always gotta look for productivity, and I know that's hard to find, but that's what you have to strive for. Somebody who can bring some form of productivity in your life, someone who can bring balance into your life, and that's necessary. That's needed. That's highly needed. Balance and productivity. So that's all I have to say. I'm going to go ahead and read these comments. And I'm going to try to answer as many questions as much as possible. So I'm going to read the comments from the beginning. I can't read every single comment. And then I'm going to go ahead and answer the questions. Let me see something. Okay, someone put, what's wrong with liking older men? I didn't say what's wrong with it. But for a young lady that's a teenager or that's a child dealing with older men, it's not so much of what's wrong on her end. It's so much of what's wrong on his end. By you being an older person, you're gravitating towards somebody that's extremely young. That lets a person know where you stand on your position. What is your whole objective? And for most older men, their objective is to control the mentality of someone that's very young. Mentality of a young girl. So most guys who get with these young teenage girls, they have an agenda. And it's not always to be in a relationship or have a courtship with them. It's to take advantage of them. So most of the time. Okay, what a thug is to me. So we gotta go back and look at the terminology of the word thug, right? Now, we all know that the word thug is actually a Hindu word. And it's really the terminology that's mean that those who were criminals that was engaged into particular lifestyle, and they victimized people in the name of a god they was worshiping. So that's where the origin of the word thug comes in. Okay, again, that's a Hindu word. Now, what does a thug mean to me? Most of the time, it's associated with a person that lives a criminal lifestyle. A person that put their own life at risk. A person that's running the streets. A person that likes that will victimize others or commit criminal activities. That's how I see the word thug, and that's how I see a thug. I mean, there's no real fancy way of putting it, you know what I'm saying? That's just the terminology. And someone put, I'm in prison right now and real men need support. Real women. Yes, real men do need to support the real women or women that's bringing some form of productivity and set high standards for themselves. I absolutely agree with you on that. I do. I agree with you. Yeah, real men need to start supporting real women, and real women need to start supporting real men. And again, Chawudu, if I'm saying your name correctly, I appreciate the excitement. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate you tuning in, watching. Real talk. Sometimes you don't know if it's worth it until you do it. Well, I I semi agree with you. I somewhat agree. Somewhat I agree. Somewhat I agree. Because but majority of the time, it's not always worth it. Especially if you know that person ain't got your back. It's not always worth it. So if that person don't really have your best interest at heart and you doing things just to earn a status or um be on the good side of that individual, but then that person got other agenda, it's not worth it. What if they stop? What if they are willing to stop? And again, that goes back to what I'm saying. If they're willing to make that transition in their life, then they will be better off with somebody who's going to bring productivity and who has the high standards. Balance your own life out. That's all that matters. You got to have balance in your life, and you must have balance in your relationship. Okay, sounds good, but it ain't. I don't know what you mean by that. Yeah, but you had to do it to find out. Well, me personally, I didn't have to get involved in doing any type of criminal activity or anything like that. So, but I've known women or I have interacted with women who were doing certain things or getting involved with certain guys and trying to be that DAB only so they can earn the love and respect from the man. So I'm not speaking on a personal experience because again, I never had to commit criminal activity. I never served a time in jail or prison. However, there's been women I have interacted with that has served time. There's people I have interacted with that has been involved in criminal lifestyles or who associate themselves with people that was living a particular lifestyle. So, and again, this is not me coming down on those who are in the street. Well, Travis, I have a different view when it comes to the concept of God and religion. So my views are different, but I do appreciate that. I don't have. My thing is, I don't really look down on those who are. Yeah, I just woke up. That's why. Yeah, that's why you see me looking like this, because I just woke up out my sleep. So during the day, when I go to sleep, I wake up. I wake up like pretty late because I work overtime. So yeah, yeah. When you work, I mean not overtime, overnights. So when you work overnights and you sleep during the day, yeah, it affects your sleeping pattern. So yeah, that's why I may look a little tired. So I had took a long nap. Um, but again, my thing is I don't look down on people who come from the streets or who was a part of gang or organization, whatnot. I don't look down upon those people because at some point in time when you have an understanding of why they get involved in doing certain activity or participate in living a lifestyle, you don't your perception, your judgment begins to change because you start to have a clear view and clear understanding. No, I'm not. No. You have a clear view and understanding of why certain people get involved and do certain things. You will understand their psychology a little bit better. you know but at the same time you don't want to just um you don't want to you don't want to be supportive of that, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to condone the activity either. So I'm not here to condone none of the activity because I don't agree to it. I don't think that people should live that way. But at the same time, what can't you do? What can't you do? What can't you do? You can't do anything about it. It's funny that you got individuals that does make the criticism and that talks down on people who are living in the streets or living a particular lifestyle but can't offer the solution. So if I can't really offer a solution to really get you off the streets, as far as like provide you with jobs and stuff, then I can't really say a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? I can just only learn how to avoid situation or learn how to not just go down that same path. But I can't really, what I'm saying? I can't really get you away from that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you have to want to stop what you're doing. You have to want to make that change. You have to want to make the transition in your life. That's all you want to do. You that's all you can do. So again, and if you live in a society like this that perpetuate crimes, that perpetuate that supports I mean that not support but that condones certain activity or poison the minds of the people through media, then what do you expect? And you know what, Cecile, I'm glad that you made that comment because that's where the misconception come into play. That's what's see, people associate if a good guy, a person, a man that's good and intelligent, he's always considered to be weak. And the guy that's living, or that's a bad boy, or that's a thug, he's always considered to be strong. And that's not always the case. Because you got very good, productive, educated men out here that are very strong, very intelligent. And some of them come from the streets. I met quite a few. Like as far as my interaction, I have met quite a few who from the streets, and you wouldn't even know they from the damn streets. You wouldn't even know they was from the hood. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't even think they was living a certain way or be a part of a certain lifestyle. You wouldn't even know that. You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even tell the difference until they start telling you about the things they done did in their past. Because they set the higher standard for themselves. Those are the type of brothers that was able to make the transition to becoming better and be more productive men. This is why I give credit to the Nation of Islam. And although I do not agree with their teachings and their philosophies, however, they have helped make the transition in the made an impact in the lives of both black men and women. Especially when it comes to black men, because most of the black men that's in the Nation of Islam, they done went from being street criminals, hustlers, thugs, pimps, drug addicts. They done been through all of that. They have gone from that transition to being in that organization. Many of them converted while they were in prison. Some sisters converted while they was in prison too. You know what I'm saying? Some sisters learned just by being around other sisters that's in the nation. So the Nation of Islam has made a contribution to that. The Nation of Gods of Earth has made a contribution to that. Also, the Orthodox Islam has made a major contribution to that. Because you have many brothers who come out of jail or out of federal prison and they become Orthodox Muslim. You know, and they join the religion only because they want brotherhood. They seeking for brotherhood. They seeking for not only a spiritual connection, but be able to connect with other brothers who have lived a certain lifestyle. And the same thing going for women. Women converting to Islam because they want the sisterhood. They see the unity. And so they see that the unity that Islam can bring. And I'm not trying to get anybody to convert into any religion. I'm not saying anybody got to be in any of those organizations. But I'm just showing how they have made an impact. A major impact on the lives of black men and black women. You know. So that's where most of them start off. They'll start off converting into the religion of Islam versus Christianity because of the stronger unity, the brotherhood, and the sisterhood that it brings. You know. So again, I can't sit down and just look totally down upon those brothers and sisters. Now, do I have to condone their activity? Hell to the no. I don't condone their activity. I don't condone them going around here robbing. I don't condone people selling drugs. I don't condone that. But you gotta look at the society. You gotta look at your government system. You gotta look at the economic system. You gotta look at all of that. That plays an effect into why most of them may get out here and commit a criminal lifestyle. That plays into effect why. That plays into effect why so many of them have no choice or any other alternatives, especially when it comes to the economic system. I mean, job marketing is very competitive. You know, there's limitation of jobs. Not everybody's going to get housing. Not everybody can get vouchers. Okay? And if you're trying to get vouchers or get housing program, whatever, you have to wait for a certain period of time. You have to wait for a long period of time. So who has the patience to wait for a long period of time when they in desperate need? If you are in desperate need, you're going to do whatever you can to survive. Even if that means that you're going to commit criminal activity. You're going to do what you can to survive. If you're not coming from a very productive environment, you come from a hostile environment, what do you expect? What can one expect for a person who come from a hostile environment, right? And they grew up in an environment where there was all kind of random people. How do you think that it's going to affect them mentally? How do you think that it's going to affect their behavior and the way they view things? They're going to either get involved in being with the wrong crowd, or being with the crowd that's very hostile, or they're going to wind up just losing their mind. And everybody, you know, different strokes for different folks, right? I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. I'm gonna build on that with you in a minute, Cecile. But different stroke for different folks, okay? When I say different stroke for different folks, you know, just because everybody come from the hood doesn't mean they gonna carry on the same mentality. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, because you come from the inner city, you know, what can make you can break you. Some people are mentally stronger than others. Some people are very mentally strong than others. Some people don't have that mentality. You know, some people can get out the hood and still be more productive, still be more wise. And there's those who cannot get out the hood and cannot do anything productive. So it depends on your experience and what you had to endure while you was living in the hood. So everybody don't go through the same thing. Everybody don't do the same activity or commit the same crimes. Everybody don't do it. But there are those that do because they trying to find. I think Cecile is a male. Elisheba. Cecile is a man. Yeah, I don't know if she got that, but anyways, you have to understand everybody don't operate the same way on the same level. So with young girls who get themselves involved in this activity, is because the hostile environment or the peer pressure. So if I grew up in a very hostile environment, right, and it got to the point where in order for me to find a safe haven, in order for me to be able to survive and get out the streets or get out the hood, I'm going to try to link up with someone who's already in the streets. And not only I would try to link up with that person, I would try to do whatever I can to be able to earn that status and respect from that individual and to win that person's heart. I'm not saying I didn't come from the hood, because I was raised in the hood myself, okay? I was raised in the inner city. However, I didn't have to, I was fortunate that I did not have to go down the route like my peers. I didn't have to get caught up in, you know, doing things that was going to put me at serious risk. You know, I was fortunate. I was thankful for that. But my peers, there were some people in my peers that did certain things and got caught up in certain activities, and they can't take it back. You know? Let me go back and read this brother's comment. Then I'm finna log off of here. Let me see. Oh, shoot. It's about to be 50 minutes. Okay. I am an educated rebel / retired bad boy, but I find women feel threatened by the intelligent. I get a lot of attention and flirts, but when a woman senses intelligent, it becomes a turn off for them. That's quite interesting. You know what it is? It's maybe because there are some women who are not used to being around intellectual men. That all goes back to the upbringing and what media has perpetuated. Media perpetuated that, intelligent men or good guys are weak men. This is what they have put off. So that's why you get turned off by women, or women get turned off by you because they don't know what to do with a man who has serious intelligence. They don't know what to do with that. They don't know how to handle that. It makes them feel, I wouldn't say it wouldn't make them feel uncomfortable, but it kind of makes them feel inferior to you. And so it sounds like to me you got women who want to be a little bit more dominating. So when they come around somebody who's very intellectual, they feel like, oh, dang, well, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know how to handle this. Am I too dumb for him? Or he making me feel inferior to him? So some women, they feel they take that as inferiority. Yep. That's what it is. They take that as inferiority. That's all. But anyways, if you guys don't have any more comments, any questions, I hope you all was able to get the logic and get the understanding of this video. And if you want to share the video, you're more than welcome to do so. And I appreciate you all for watching. I appreciate for your comments. So I'm getting ready to log off of here. And I hope you all have a productive evening, a productive afternoon, whatever your time zone may be. I don't know where you at in the world, so everybody's time zone ain't the same. But whatever you're doing, make sure your day is productive. Make sure you do something that stay, keep yourself on that path that you sticking to. And also, always increase your knowledge. Always get information. Always stay educated and stay open-minded. So, again, thank you all for watching. I appreciate you a whole lot. I really do. That means a lot. So, again, make sure you go ahead and share this video. And we'll talk soon. So, hopefully, I can do something tomorrow. If I don't do a video tomorrow, then I'll do it any other day. But alright then, y'all have a good one. May peace and power and elevation be to all of you. Hey Ricky, how you doing? May peace and power and elevation be to all of you. And we'll talk soon. And I may do some interviews. I don't know. I don't know yet. So it's a lot of things I want to do, but I'm gonna take my time right now. So I'm just gonna stick to what I do. But yeah, in the near future, like I said, I'm thinking about doing Google Hangout. I'm working on maybe doing some interviews, have some people come on here and interview them or whatnot. But other than that, until then, just continue to stay in tune with the video and make sure you share the videos if you like. Alright. That's all to be said, ladies and gentlemen. Deuces. Have a good one. Thank you. Power and elevation. Alright. This your girl Tiffany and I'm checking out.